interact on critical issues which the automotive industry is facing, sir. We will put forward, sir, very clear, very focused recommendations, and we will not talk of any general ideas of this that should be done, but our ideas are very focused and very specific. Sir, the before I start, if sir, you would, Mr. Girdhar would want to have any opening remarks, sir.
Sir, you can start it, no problem.
Okay, sir.
No problem.
Sir, I think just to set the context right, sir, the automotive industry contributes almost 7% to the GDP, and as per new series of it contributes 6.4%. Sir, 49% of the manufacturing GDP is contributed by auto industry, and new series says it is 35%, but still it is very substantial. Sir, we provide 37 million jobs across the value chain from suppliers to our dealers and OEMs. And sir, 15% of the GST, which amounts to 1,50,000 crore, is contributed by auto sector. And also $27 billion of export is done, sir, by the auto industry to 150 nations globally. Sir, with this background, let me share with you, sir, last year that was closed in March FY20. Sir, what has happened? We have a very unprecedented slowdown we have seen, sir. And auto industry has dropped collectively, total, if I look at as 18%, but passenger vehicle drop was 18%, commercial vehicle drop was 29%, sir. Within commercial vehicle, the heavy commercial vehicle drop was 46%. Three-wheelers drop was around 10%, and two-wheelers dropped around 18-20%. Sir, based on whatever has been talked in the last 1 month with various government bodies and data that is coming out, sir, we have prepared 3 scenarios, sir, going forward, sir. First scenario that we are looking at is, which also many people are talking, is 2 to 3% GDP growth. But if the GDP grows at 2%, then, sir, auto industry will have a degrowth of about 20% with a range of 18 to 24%. Second scenario is GDP is flat, sir. If GDP is flat, zero, there is no growth. In that case, we are seeing the worsening to 35% of the auto industry and some segments going as low as 20%. Sir, when we interacted with Niti Aayog, they also had an interaction with CII, SIAM and other bodies. They are also talking of a scenario, one scenario, where the GDP can be minus 2%. If GDP is minus 2%, then we are talking of as much as 45% degrowth of the auto industry in heavy commercial and other segments. And in the passenger vehicle segment, there will be a degrowth of 26%. Sir, if we combine these 2 years, FY20 and FY21 scenarios, sir, industry will have a degrowth of 40 to 45%. And sir, we will go back to the level of 2010. Those are thus may whatever numbers we had of the auto industry will go back 10 years, 1 decade we will go back. So all these 3 scenarios, sir, pose a very difficult situation at 50% capacity utilization. And the sentiment of the consumer immediately after opening is also a very, very big challenge. So, sir, right now, the industry is faced with a lot of challenges. And we have some, sir, very clear recommendations that we want to put across to you. One obvious problem is how do we start the resumption, what problems we are facing, and then get the supply chain in order. A lot of suppliers are in the red zone. We will talk about how the demand can be boosted, sir. We can talk about we're facing some problems with the regulations as a consequence. Then dealerships, we have some specific points about them. Then we would like to get some employment support and some financial support. So, sir, these 6 points that we will talk today will be covered between myself, my Vice President of SIAM, Mr. Ayukawa, and our 2 past presidents, sir, who are here today, Mr. Vikram Kirloskar and Dr. Goenka. So amongst the 4 of us, we would like to cover these 6 points. and where we have very focused recommendation, and honestly look forward to your support to this industry, sir. So I would now request Dr. Goenka. He will like to elaborate on the need for deferment of some of these regulations. Dr. Goenka, please, can I request you? You are on mute, Pawan, I think. You are on mute. We couldn't hear you, Pawan.
Okay. Yeah. Sir, good to see you on video. You're looking quite fit. So लगता है आप काफी exercise वगैरह कर रहे हैं घर पे. हम लोग का जिम बंद हो गया, हम exercise भी नहीं हो रही है. So sir, let me start off by saying that मुझे इंडस्ट्री में 40 साल हो गए और ऐसी जो हालत अभी है वो हालत मैंने कभी देखी नहीं है और होपफुली कभी देखनी नहीं होगी किसी को भी, क्योंकि जो हमारा अभी 6 वीक का 8 वीक का शटडाउन हुआ है, लॉकडाउन हुआ है, उससे इंडस्ट्री को इतनी ज्यादा तकलीफ हो रही है इन टर्म्स ऑफ मैनेजिंग जो हमारे 3 एलिमेंट्स हैं, सप्लायर्स, OEMs एंड डीलर्स. All three are struggling, and the biggest problem that we are facing is cash flow liquidity right now. Because no matter which company it is, we have, or which block, there is significant amount of fixed cost that we have to bear. But we will talk about that later. I just want to focus on 2 things. One is on the BS4 vehicles that were sold before 31st March. And as Honorable Supreme Court, they had given grace to register them till 30th April. वो अभी पूरा नहीं हुआ है, sir. There is still about 20% vehicles that have not been registered by RTOs for a variety of reasons. One of the reasons that's coming up now is the 30th April date is passed, and Supreme Court timing was only till 30th April. So how do we register the remaining 20%? So if we need to find a solution for registering these 20% vehicles remaining, so that releases the cash that is stuck in the system for various companies and the dealers, mostly dealers. And I don't know whether we have to approach the Supreme Court again to get more grace. And also some of the RTOs are putting their own restrictions. Like Delhi, for example, is saying we will register only vehicles sold till 25th March. And they are not accepting vehicles sold between 26th March and 31st March. So that also is causing problem for many of the players. So one request is to help us with this registration. This is again keeping in mind only vehicles sold before 31st March, obviously, because that was the Supreme Court directive. The second thing, sir, is that as we open and focus on rebooting the industry, we will have to go through significant level of getting everything gear. जब हमने stop किया था, it was easy. We just turn off the switch, everything is stopped. But when we restart, equipment having not worked for 2 months, workers having not worked for 2 months, everything will have to be retrained, redone. The suppliers, the logistic, the cash flow, the working capital. So our focus will be on getting the industry rebooted. So a request to you is that for the next 12 months, there should be a moratorium on new regulations that are currently in the pipeline. And there are at least 12 regulations that are to be implemented by the industry between now and end of the year. I'll just read out some of them. This ferrochrylum cream, जो first aid में जाने वाली थी. Safety glasses as per IS 2553. Quality control order for safety glass. Pedestrian protection crash safety standard. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. AIS two-wheeler stands. AIS 147 external projection for two-wheeler. AIS 148 footrest for two-wheeler. Form 22 for BS6 vehicles. AIS 145 RPAS. AIS 135 fire detection and suppression system. PMP, this is for FAME 2, the localization of FAME 2, the battery waste management, and also the regulation on CAFE that was supposed to come in for phase 2 from April 22. And industry right now is in no position to be able to meet these regulations. And frankly, we have to put our focus on getting the industry rebooted rather than putting our resources on this. In any case, we have lost 2 to 3 months. And when we restart, all suppliers, all consultants will be busy in rebooting. So I don't want to waste your time going through each one of these individually. but our request is that we should defer these regulations for a period of 1 month. Some can be a little more, something can be a little less that you can take a decision on. But we are requesting a 1 month delay for each of these. Cafe regulation.
Dr. Goenka, one year you mean?
1 year delay, yeah. Cafe regulation that is coming in April 22. That is a very major constraint right now, because right now with BS4 to BS6 transition happened, which got stuck in the middle with this coronavirus. We are not in a position to really focus on meeting the CAFE requirement, and we would require some leniency on CAFE requirement and postponing it by some time, whatever you feel appropriate to be done. In addition to automotive, there are at least 2 regulations in tractor industry, which also is in the same situation as automotive, which has been represented by TMA. One is the TREM 4 emission regulation that is supposed to come in October 2020, which we have requested to be delayed also by 1 year. And second is ROX, this safety, rollover safety equipment that is supposed to come. That also, for the same reason that I said automotive, there is a need to delay this. So this is really on the regulation front. I can obviously get into a lot of details, but I don't think that I should be taking your time to do it. Sir, हमारी जो focus है वो है to reboot the industry, and everything that we do has to go in that direction. And we really need your help at this time to try and not getting our attention diverted towards meeting these regulations, which we are not in any position to do. So I will not take too much time. I'll stop here. I can obviously answer any questions that you have. Rajesh is also here. We can answer questions. So some of these are small and some of these are very big. The FAME 2 hai, pedestrian safety hai, CAFE norm hai, safety of glasses hai. These are very major things that we are not in a position to meet on the time that has been indicated. Rajan, I'm done.
Thank you, Dr. Goenka. Sir, now we will talk, sir, a bit on demand. Sir, क्या हो रहा है कि as we open up and overcome the opening challenges, overcome the supply chain challenges, what we are very clearly seeing is that with 50% degrowth, there needs to be some boosters, demand boosters. And Mr. Vikram Kirloskar will talk about that. Vikramji, can we have you talk about demand boosters?
Gadkari Sahib, General Singh, Namaskar. So it's difficult for me to imagine anyone getting up in the morning right now and saying, I want to buy a new car, a new scooter, or anything like that. And it's very, very difficult. And I've always been an eternal optimist in every time we've had a bad time in the past. I've always been an eternal optimist saying we'll get out of it somehow, we will work and we'll make it, and we've always done it. But this time I'm feeling a little, especially in CI, I've been listening to various sectors, continuously the situation in the medium and small scale, which you know. I'm feeling very, very uncomfortable and unfortunately pessimistic about it. We can start our companies with great struggle, as Pawan has explained. It's difficult to restart, but after we restart also, we go through all the pain. Who's going to buy our product? And that's a very big question mark for us. So the 3 suggestions which I'm making are the same ones we have been talking of for last several. Every time we have a meeting with you, we give the same suggestion. The first suggestion has always been on the reduction in the GST rate. GST rates across the country have been on vehicles at a very high level, 28% and higher. We'd like them to be reduced on all vehicles and categories and components, at least by 10%. That's one start. Second, we have discussed is the scrappage policy, incentive-based scrappage scheme. It is your scheme. You've always pushed it, I know that. And somehow it's not taken enough, I think in the central government or in the finance ministry, people have not accepted it so strongly. Can you please push it again and let us know what we can do to push it also with the finance ministry or whoever else who's blocking it. You've been pushing it for the last several years. But I think this will also help at this time. Scrapping old vehicles will help keep the skies blue as they are now, as well as give some fillip to demand. The third is, I think, another scheme which you started on procurement of buses, diesel and CNG buses, as well as electric buses across the country by various state transport undertakings and city undertakings. Can we give a bigger fillip to that? The worst affected, if you look in the whole thing, in all our industries, the heavy commercial vehicle industry. Even last year, and the numbers Rajan just mentioned, the worst one would be like 50%, I think, affected, or more than 50% in the best of scenarios, is this industry. And any fillip to this industry will make a huge difference. These are my three basic requests on the demand side to create demand. But any other ideas on creating demand are essential. What is worrying me, frankly speaking, very much, Pawan and I were chatting last night. He said, suddenly we are realizing that opening the lockout only means that we have created enough hospital capacity. COVID is going to stay. And unless a medicine or vaccine really comes out, people are going to remain scared and worried. And the chances of cases going up after the lockouts and business start is quite high. So with all this, demand for vehicles is like it's very hard to fathom. When Rajan said we'll go back 10 years, I hope we don't go back 10 years in employment as well. That's we're talking of a huge quantity of people in dealerships, in our industry, and in the supplier industry, hurting very, very badly. We are as we are large companies, we can manage for a couple of months. The government has been taking us. What we hear is that yes, we'll support bottom of the pyramid, which is what we push for initially. Please give money to the bottom of the pyramid, then help small and medium scale. We're expecting a big package for that. But big industry will also suffer after a couple of months. Please appreciate it. And big industry means bigger problems, potential problems. This is my small appeal to you and General Singh, and whatever help we can do from CII, from other parts, or any of us individually to push our case in any other parts of the government. And I understand you require consensus from many people sometimes on these issues. Please let us know. We'll be happy to do that. So if I can just take one point, the CII National Council meeting and other meetings you've attended, we really appreciate. We'd like to have a town hall with SMEs of CII, about 5 lakh SME members. And I think if you speak on a town hall with SMEs, a lot of them are major ones, auto component guys as well, it'll make a big difference. So I will connect with your office and have CII organize that. So, thank you.
So, thank you, Vikram.
For 1 second.
Yeah, Pawan.
I just want to reinforce 2 points in what Vikram said, sir. One is that two sectors, real estate and automotive, would really have difficulty in getting the demand up, because these will be very low priority for anybody to buy a house or buy a car.
Mr. Goenka,
the real estate status is now 2 times worse than the automobile sector. They are on the verge of collapse. But you are in a better position, so don't compare with the real estate.
That I wanted to say. And second thing, that since MSME is your ministry, the employment of MSME has to be a very big concern for the government of India right now, because जो workers निकले हैं वो वापस आएंगे नहीं आएंगे, MSME employ करेगी नहीं करेगी. We will somehow manage. We will not fire workers. We will keep our regular workers on the roads.
But only one request from me to all of you. The MSMEs are facing very, very big problem now. They are small people. The problem is that even their position is so worst. Now it is a battle for their survival. Now the most important problem is the dues of state government, central government and undertaking and from major industries are, the amount is very huge. This amount is come to approximately, I don't know to tell the exact number, but it is very high. What my request to all of you as all members of major industries, if it is possible for you to at any cost release the payment within month. Don't take it more time on that, otherwise it's a situation is very bad. I know you are also facing the problem, but if anywhere that it can be possible, please do it for this. It is the worst situation now.
Required by law. I don't think that anybody can delay MSME payment. We are required to pay in 45 days and everybody is paying.
That is not the case. The pendency is very high. Even the state government, the central government, public undertakings and everywhere there is a big problem. Even with the major industry also there is a problem. I have got
the data.
I have got the data, name of the companies, even I know the number. But so huge number is that, so really I am facing, now I am trying to introduce a scheme for making of a rolling fund where the interest cost will be bear by either by supplier or by the industry, those who are purchasing it, and making a formula by which whether it is possible to get the loan from that rolling fund will be helpful for MSME to get their working capital. That is the very important for them. That is the fight for their survival. But still, if anywhere, if you have any problem, please be positive about this sector, because this is really in the verge of collapse now. It's a very important thing that if you can help them, so within a month, if you can give them their payment, it can be good. Somewhere, if it is possible for you to give the payment immediately, that is also be a great thing in the situation.
So I'll tell you for sure, the auto sector has paid off. I think almost all auto sector has paid off all its members, all its suppliers. And I think they've also worked out packages for the dealers, some kind of a survival package. And also, I think auto sector is also supporting its suppliers. The biggest issue is government and PSEs. And I've been requesting at every meeting I've had in Delhi almost every day, please MSMEs first. It's 60 to 70 lakh crores. It can make a huge difference in the whole MSME situation. We have requested from CII, I've personally requested up to the finance minister, please make sure money is arranged with the public sector enterprises and the government undertakings to pay off these guys. If you have a dispute, they keep talking their disputes. They at least pay 80% of it. So settle, then you worry about the dispute. The other thing is banks are not giving credit to companies. Actually, banks should not give credit to MSMEs. Why should MSMEs bear the interest on this? I think you should force the PSCs and the government to borrow the money and pay the MSMEs. And let them pay the interest. You must do that, and it must be an absolute hukum, no choice hukum.
Already I have recommended the same proposal to the finance ministry. We will do it.
That all auto OEMs have MSME on time. I know Mahindra is, and I'm sure that every other auto OEM is doing so too. Please confirm that with all our major members.
We will do that, but to the best of our knowledge, in various meetings that we had, even ECMA has acknowledged that they have got the money from OEMs, but we'll still find out, sir, and forward to you, sir, information. So now can I request Mr. Ayukawa-san, our Vice President of SIAM, to talk on some of the support that we need on opening up of the industry. Ayukawa-san, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Madhavan, and Honorable Minister and the Secretary. Thank you very much to this opportunity. We our industry committed to support the government during this tough time, but May 4th onward, fortunately, our factory that starting the preparation for production. Also, dealer gradually start opening. But pointed that even though the dealer that allocated the green zone, still that 1/3 just open. Some miscommunication with the government. we're expecting those kind of, of course, we requesting directly government side, but we're expecting the central government to be guiding state government those kind of point. Because that, Goenka mentioned that, Mr. Goenka mentioned that the sales front and the production front is that our industry is integrated. Without selling vehicle that we cannot produce in the vehicle, that kind of condition we have to able to smoothly change. That point I requested one thing. And also, already Goenka mentioned that some requests regarding the major technical regulation, which are scheduled in the next 3 to 24 months. Sir, you are aware that the industry has just completed the BS6 changeover. However, there was a regulation cost increasing and market reduced by 80% last year, while normally is grow by 10%. So there was the impacting 28% last year. This year, also, April we are lost 1 month, 9% gone, and maybe May and June little bit to slow down. We are expecting the 50%, 20% going down this year. That's why we expecting to consider the time point. Also, lockdown, during the lockdown, our engineering work will stop a few months as something. But even though starting at the activity from May, maybe slow down due to some regulation, due to the social distance regulation, etc. It will be delayed 6 months, something like that. Considering the time point, we are really expecting defer this kind of regulation implementation. Especially major regulation which will need a lot of engineering changes, CAFE coming from April 2022. With this disruption, it's also almost more impossible to design and develop and test new vehicle. We request you to defer it by at least around 2 years. Please consider the time point. Also, second request, already Vikram Mr. mentioned for scrap incentive scheme at the true benefit of the BS6 which you are implementing to environment will come only if we remove all the polluted vehicle from the road. A scrap incentive scheme will also help generate some demand for industry. Even though this start operation, people a little bit hesitate to purchasing the vehicle. Or that's why that if the scrap incentive will be implemented, this is a big excitement for the customer. I believe that is a good help for encourage our industry. Thank you very much, sir.
So thank you, Mr. Ayukawa-san. Sir, we now talk of, sir, the support for the dealerships. Sir, as you know, we have been talking about this internally with the FADA also. There is a request that, sir, this wholesale and retail trade, including the repair of motor vehicles and motorcycles, in MSME Development Act of 2006, if this could be included, then it becomes easy for them to enjoy the and benefit from the subsidies and various incentives which come under this act. This will provide much more relief to the automobile dealerships. So there is a specific request if they can be added under the MSME Development Act of 2006. That will give a very big boost, sir. Sir, on the employment side, we know going to be very, very difficult for us to maintain the employment. If we are going to operate at 50% of our capacities, and for the first 3, 4, 5 months, we will not be able to utilize full capacity because this 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. shift itself means that 30% workers are allowed. So for the next 6 months, there are hardly going to be any revenue. And there is a huge worry on the ability to support employment. Therefore, sir, there has to be some very high level of intervention to ensure that job losses don't happen. And also, we will not be even able to work for 6 months because A lot of migrant workforce is not available with the tier 1, sir, and tier 2 suppliers. Also, sir, we are looking forward to tide over, and so that we don't end up cutting salaries, freezing increments, reducing employment. Sir, if the automotive industry can have 150%, sir, weighted deduction in the income tax for personal costs, whatever personal cost the company is incurring, if there could be 150% weighted deduction in income tax, this will reduce the burden and help in retaining employees during this difficult time, sir. On the, sir, financial side, there is the suggestion that we have is low cost finance, sir, should be made available to this highly stressed section. You said real estate is highly stressed, and Pawan acknowledged this as the number 2 worst excess. So, sir, if to this stressed section we can get interest rate at 200 bips points above the repo rate fixed, that will help and entire across the value chain, sir. It will help dealers, it will help suppliers, and it will help the OEMs to get 200 bips above the repo rate as interest rate. Also, sir, Mr. Kirloskar has been talking about it, and that was a part of our point for financial support. Sir, all payments, sir, to vehicle manufacturers, contractors of highway infrastructure projects, a lot of these payments are pending from central government, PSU, state governments. This will help, and I think already that request has been made. So, sir, these are the 6 buckets, sir, against which we have put a specific request. All letter to you today evening, we will send it to you and your offices. So, sir, at this stage, we also, sir, welcome Mr. Giridhar, who is the Secretary MOTH. And now I would hand it over to him and to you to say a few words or on your thoughts on what we are asking and how you would want us to jointly do some kind of way forward or a task force to provide data and support so that this industry can start rolling, sir. Over to you, Mr. Giridhar, please.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. We have received the representation from SIAM, the 3 parts which were explained further today. They will be examined thoroughly. Government of India, Prime Minister's Office and the Department of Economic Affairs are already working on a package which includes not only the MSME, but also the entire industry. All sectors of economy are being taken care of by a comprehensive package being worked out in the government. The detailed suggestions and recommendations made by SIAM will be examined very seriously, and whatever can be done within the legal parameters will be attended to without any delay. Our effort, under the able guidance of our Honorable Minister and the Minister of State, will be to ensure that the Ministry of Road Transport will be ahead of everybody else in providing relief to a particular industry and also help other sectors of the economy to recover. Because we are controlling the roads, we are controlling the vehicles, it will be our duty, both SIAM, the contractors, as well as the Ministry officials, to ensure that we do our bit before anybody else has to start their bit. Thank you very much. Sir, now I think Minister of State is also present. I would request him to make comments.
जनरल साहब बोलिए.
Our Honorable Minister Nitin Gadkari ji, he is not only a minister, but he is a very innovative personality who has been able to infuse a lot of strength into the various sectors that he's been looking after. And I've been following what he's been saying, both where the road sector is concerned, the transport sector is concerned, the MSME sector is concerned. And I can certainly assure SIAM that he has industry's interest totally in mind as to how we can take economy forward, how we can ensure there is a benefit to nation as well as to the industry, and it generates employment, which will ultimately help in solidification of the way industry works. There are many demands that were made by SIAM. Most of them have been agreed to by the minister, which he will be talking of. Few deferments are there, which I think the department is already looking at. All that needs to be done now is to put our heads together to see how we move forward. And there is a lot that can be done. And it has to be an effort between the industry and the government, with us in the department trying to assist you to ensure that we move forward. With these words, I go to our Minister Gadkari ji, who will give his views on this subject. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Colleague General V.K. Singh ji, our new appointed secretary, all the chairman and respectable member of SIAM, and dear friends. It's a true fact that whole country is facing big problems. But not only the country, now the whole world is facing the big problem because of Corona. And it is really a big challenge. And as a minister, as a person, I can imagine what type of problems you are facing. And it is really a very, very challenging situation. First of all, we need to fight with Corona and we need to win this war. That is very important. As early as possible, we need to win this war, and for that reason, we need cooperation from all of you. First of all, the most important thing is we have to make it mandatory that using of mask. Then in the office and residence, everywhere we need to use sanitizers. And same time, we need to have maintained distance more than 1 meter between the two persons. At the same time, government approach is to start industry. Already the national highway is moving fast. 60 to 65% of traffic is already on the road. The export and import is also now moving fast. We have already started the functioning of the ports, big ports now. For industry, we need to think about
taking prevent
as far as the guideline of the state government and central government. But one of the important thing is taking labor from city area to the factory. The buses are there, vehicles are there. There is also the guideline available from the government that we should not have more than 25 people in the buses, and we have to maintain the social distance. And at the same time, in the factory, we have to make arrangement or think about on the line that for food and shelter, these are the main important thing for the labor, and particularly now the migrating labor is also a big problem. So we need to interfere, and for some time we need to take the responsibility for that. The most important thing is what my feeling is that you are a concerned subject which you are already put up with me are very important. Actually, what Mr. Kirloskar was suggesting me and he was telling to me, he is absolutely correct. I am trying from last 2 years for pursuing this scrapping policy. But the way in which the system works, the bureaucracy and the system, and we need the cooperation from the other ministry, the stakeholders, there was a lot of problem. But yesterday I phoned to Honorable Secretary and saying, please make it follow up it and do it as early as possible. This is one of the important things which is going to boost industry, because it is going to reduce the cost, production cost. I know that what is the importance of logistic cost, capital cost, power cost and labor cost. All these costs are very important, and this is a situation we are all trying our level best to reduce the cost, and for that reason the scrapping policy is very important. I am also following all the things. Yesterday I have a discussion with the secretary and we will make it as early as possible. I will find out what are the obstacles, and we will clear it, and we will go ahead. Regarding your expectations related, some of the problems related to the finance ministry regarding GST and other thing, even income tax and other thing, we are already taking your points, but these are the matters which are related with the finance ministry, and the highest authority will take the decision. We will try to pursue it. Regarding your suggestion for new rules and regulation, I will immediately suggest to Honorable Secretary that with his joint secretary, additional secretary, he can, because I am in Nagpur, but our Honorable VK Singh is in Delhi, they can make a meeting, and if it is possible, if they can send me the file, we will try to postpone the things, because only the road safety is a concern, but otherwise we will definitely positively think about it. Regarding registration of vehicle, I am confused, because my ministry is telling me about the decision of the Supreme Court, and in my video conferences, some of the people are telling me there is the government can take the decision. So this issue will again verify by our secretary and our concerning authority officers, that if it is in our as a government has power to give any relief for that, we are ready to do it. We are very positive, and we will find out the way out. Regarding I understand the importance of your industry, because in the growth and creating employment potential, your role is very remarkable. Even for export also it is very important, and we want to support the industry. But it is I am not an expert, neither I am an economist, neither I am a technical expert, neither I am an economist. But there is one question in my mind, that everywhere in the life and business, there are ups and downs are there. Now in the industry from last some years, industry is every time increasing the growth by some percentage. So I don't know, but it cannot be possible for the whole life. Somewhere we have to face these consequences, that there may be a difference between demand and supply. But this is not the appropriate time for discussing this issue. But as some sort of small business understanding with me, is it possible for industry to reduce the liabilities? Because when there are good days, we need to take the care that we should reduce the liabilities. And everywhere, either it is politics, business and industry, everywhere their ups and downs are there. No one is permanent. At least our job is only for 5 years. We don't know about what is going to happen after 5 years, because it is in the hands of the people to decide. So naturally, I am not giving your advice to you, but somewhere I feel that we should have an arrangement for bad days. And it is very important that planning in advance, planning in detail for good days and bad days. So somewhere you are the most successful businessman, having a huge turnover, good export and proven track record. Probably also you may have some appropriate vision for that. But it is important, only this is my honest feeling. I don't want to criticize or teaching anything new to you. But somewhere we should have some arrangement by which we can face this type of consequences. Regarding construction industry, I am also now trying my level best. Now the road construction is something coming to 30 kilometers per day. And I already discussed with my new secretary and NHI that we should have an arrangement with foreign funds, insurance fund, pension funds, foreign banks, foreign agencies, World Bank, ADB. And NHI's track record is very good. Now we have already 480 projects. The cost of the project is more than 4 lakh crores. The projects which are economically viable and the internal rate of return is good. And by adding land acquisition cost into the project, the bankable project, the bank can finance for 30 years. When 2 months before, when I have a meeting with Governor of Reserve Bank, I request him and he permit me that we don't have any problem for increasing time period for infrastructure, 30 years. I have also given suggestion to the finance ministry for even for road, even for houses. If the government is going to increase the time period for 20 years, probably I feel that there may be some increase in demand. I don't know now, presently the car loan is and truck loan is for 10 years. But suppose the good type of vehicle, their life is for 15 years, certified by the government. We need to change some law for that, because some of the vehicles are very good and we need to certify them the life for 15 years. Whether it is possible for it to increase the finance for 15 years, by which the EMI will be less and there will be more capacity in the market, that I don't know. It's a open idea. Actually, I always thinking what is to be way out, what should we find out solution. This comes to me related with the real estate. But I don't know now. I don't know what is the impact when the finance ministry had taken a decision that is on new car, 30% they are giving that depreciation for that and per year. So what is the impact of that decision? I don't know. But I feel that we should have to find out some new thing for that. Regarding this public transport sector, the state governments are now, the state government undertaking are in big losses. Now India need good huge potential of public transport. We need good luxury buses. People are ready to pay for that. Even for that reason, actually I suggest many times that majority of the company you have your export. So by formulating the NBFC finance company, if you can get some foreign loan and if you don't need to hedge for that, so if you can reduce the interest cost and you can give it to the public sector, private sector, public transport operator, and if they can start it, there is a huge potential. But somewhere the schemes are stuck up because the state government attitude regarding this public transport undertaking, they are all in a very bad shape. Neither they are in position to invest any for new buses, even they are not capable to give the salary for their people. But at the same time, they don't want to give chance for private public sector to enter into the field. And that is the reason that we have selected the London model. The London transport model, there are 9 operators are there, and that is the public-private investment in the buses, and it's successfully running. So the municipal corporation and the state government undertaking and private bus operator, if we can formulate a scheme by which government also will take some decisions, because regarding the permit and other thing also there are some problems. Yesterday I have a discussion with them. So my suggestion is regarding SIAM and the public bus transporter, you can formulate something scheme by which if you can increase the demand for that, there is an economic viability, but we need to find out some solution for that. The other important thing is that is related with the heavy industries, heavy commercial vehicles, and where I am always talking to my people, but the people who are getting salary every month, they are very good and capable and intelligent people, but they never understand business. And to wasting time to convince them in the government, that is my job. I am doing it tirelessly to convince them that this is economically viable. But it is now the problem is that my target, I have decided to make the road target, construction of road target for next 2 years is for 15 lakh crores. Now all this problem we are facing, the one of the important option for all solution for this problem is liquidity. We need to increase liquidity into the market, and that is the reason that government should initiate by public-private investment or with different innovative models to increase the liquidity in the market, and that is very important. The most problem in the government is not taking decision, delay the decisions, and that is one of the big factor there where we are facing the problem. I don't have any problem related to what decision they are taking. I am just telling you an example. Some days before, I have discussed with our arbitration people. There are some judges and companies. that why are you not taking decision fast? So they were telling me that we have 24 cases hearing for that, and out of which 22 cases your NHI people demanded adjournment. I was annoyed, and I was talking to NHI chairman, why you are making this? Why are you taking adjournment? Why are you not giving your reply? So this type of mentality, even in a situation, the people are not going to understand. So in NHI also, we have taken lot of decision. In ministry also taken a decision, and I will request our honorable new secretary that you should make the follow-up of all projects. Now it's really a bad experience in my life. Before some days, we have a long meeting of 2 days with the contractors, officers, and the legitimate EOT and new scope of work, which is supposed to be given by the department, the authority, it was so pending. So at the time when I was discussing with the ministry's proposal, I come to conclusion that I feel shameful to discuss all these things with you with your poor performance. I don't want to expose you because otherwise I will lose my temperament. So better way you immediately do it next time. If you are doing same mistakes, then I will terminate you, or I will transfer you, or I will action against you. So the 2 days meeting was there. VK Singh was with me. We are in that near Haryana in one hotel resort. We was there, and my experience was still there was a pendency. The pendency in the government is a big problem. But now we have taken lot of, unfortunately, our NHI chairman is very good, and he is very positive. He is taking the decision, and he tell me that, sir, give me time for 1 month. I will clear all the things, and 90% he clear the things. So now from our side, by releasing the payments and deciding the EOT, then additional scope of work, and there are some problems with the land acquisition, the utility shifting, we need to increase the speed, because the NHI is a sector where steel and cement requirement is very high. We are consuming 40% of the cement manufacturer, those who are manufacturing here, 40% of cement is consumed by NHI. But the cement manufacturer are also culprit. They are just doing black markets. They want to take the advantage of the situation. They are every time changing their rates. I also discussed with them. One of the senior businessmen from Tamil Nadu, he was very hurt, and he was to phone me, we are ready to cooperate with you. Why are you increasing the rate? If you have a industry, if there is an increase in raw material, there is an increase in power rate, if there is an increase in labor cost, anything which is, if there is an increase in your cost, I can understand you can increase the rate. But every day you are changing the rate, and this type of cartel you are making, this is very bad. If you are going to continue this, it is really a thing that we need to take some action against you. So now the steel industry and cement industry are getting lot of benefits from our road construction. At the same time, when I was in Bangalore, Mr. Kirloskar was there. The people of our equipment industry was telling me last year there was increase in 60 to 80%. So now I understand that for using of heavy commercial vehicle, we need to increase the road work construction, and we are trying to get getting good finance from abroad also. We are now, secretary and chairman both are trying to appoint agency, appoint appropriate people to getting the finance from abroad. We have got TO2 models, BOT model, NOT hybrid model. We are also making 1,000 kilometer of road length, costing at least 2,50,000 crore on BOT also basis. And we are now making logistic parks. We are making roadside amenities, 2,000 logistic parks. Then we are making this roadside amenities. We are also trying, but still we are not succeed. The commercial land available in the big cities as a bus port, we can develop this bus port like airport. It's commercially viable. We need to start that. So there are a lot of things we need to have more liquidity into the market. And it is not only in the road sector, but it is in the power sector, shipping, ports, then railway, then inland waterways, everywhere. I am giving an example. When I was last 5 years Minister for Shipping and Ports, my budget was 800 crore per year. And in Sagarmala, we have taken a decision to complete the Sagarmala project, which investment cost was 16 lakh crore. And it's a great pride for me. Our people have at the time, these 5 years, awarded the contracts in Sagarmala in shipping and ports of 6,50,000 crore. Our major port strength was very strong. And so even one of the road we are making in JNPT, that is Panvel to JNPT, we take the loan JNPT ports in dollar with the Singapore, DBS Bank Singapore and State Bank Capital, 2,500 crore they finance the loan for that project. So it can be possible. So now we are also planning to develop industrial clusters near the roads. So in Mumbai-Delhi Express Highway, we have a lot of potential. We reduce the cost by saving 16,000 crore on land acquisition. And now we are planning to make some industrial clusters, leather clusters, chemical clusters, plastic clusters, food clusters. Roadside there will be a smart city, there will be a smart village, to how we can increase the liquidity. So this is the time that we need to have more liquidity into the market. Without that, we cannot increase employment potential. Without that, we cannot increase the growth. And for that purpose, we need more capital. We need to have very, very liberal for foreign investment. And at the same time, now it is a blessing in disguise. Our honorable, your member, he's from Japan. I'm requesting him that the Japanese Prime Minister has declared one big package for Japan industry, and the Japanese people, those who are investment in China, if they are moving out of China, the special package is declared by Japan government. So my suggestion is, in this time, for this foreign investments is a golden opportunity. I am feeling that this is a blessing in disguise. ये आपत्ति में इष्टापत्ति है. I always talking to the people that there are some people who convert problems into opportunities, and there are some people who converted opportunity into the problems. I know that you people have a big competency. Don't be nervous. Everywhere in the life there are falls and downs. And everywhere I remember that song of Atal Bihari Vajpayee's, कदम 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 मिलाकर चलना होगा. And कोशिश करने वाले की कभी हार नहीं होती. हम होंगे कामयाब. Some people, some media people, some industry people are so fed up, so frustrated. They are talking so negatively. So that is the reason that it is going to, nothing we will get it from that. It is the time that we need to create positive confidence in the mind of the people, that we can win, we can fight, and we can make India as a super economic power. The dream of our Prime Minister to make India of super economic power, 5 trillion economy and 100 lakh crores of infrastructure. It can be possible. We need to boost the people, to create positive confidence in the mind of the people. So this is the time that people like you, though I know you are facing the problem, government is very sensitive and very serious about it. But this is the time for all of us to create positivity and confidence in the mind of the people. I remember when I was a student leader in the university, our party, and every time we are losing the election. So somewhere I talked with one of the professor, said I feel that we don't have any future in the politics. And I feel that we should leave the politics and we should join some service or start practice and start some business, because I feel that there is no future, and after my service or job I can work for society, but it cannot be politics is a bad thing for me, and I am not going to compromise with my ideology. So the best reason is to withdraw from the thing. So my professor suggests me one book from Richard Nixon, and that is really, that book gave me inspiration and motivation throughout my life. At that time I don't know, remember that period when, because of Watergate, Richard Nixon was in big problem. He resigned. And even the people in the Washington, they refused to give him land for his house. So his mentality was very disturbed. He wrote that book. And there one of his sentence I remember, that in that sentence was very famous. That the man is not finished when he is defeated, but he is finished when he quits. युद्ध भूमि पर हारने के बाद कोई समाप्त नहीं होता, युद्ध छोड़कर भाग जाता है तब वो समाप्त होता है. और दूसरी बात, मैं बिजनेसमैन नहीं हूँ, मैं कोई बड़ा इकोनॉमिक थिंकर भी नहीं हूँ। तो मेरा बीच में एक ऑपरेशन हुआ था, तो एक स्टारबक्स का एक किताब मुझे एक मित्र ने ला के दिया। तो वो एक ट्रक ड्राइवर का लड़का था और उसकी माँ नर्स थी और वो कॉफ़ी शॉप में नौकरी करता था। तो वह धीरे धीरे अपना कॉफ़ी शॉप डाला और वो 19,000 कॉफ़ी इसका दुकानों का आज मालिक बना है। स्टारबक्स इज़ ए बिग चेन। तो उसने एक अच्छी बात कही थी, और वो मेरे अभी आजकल मैं तो अपना बिजनेस वगैरह कुछ देखता नहीं, मेरा लड़का देखता है। तो मैंने सबको बुलाकर एक दिन कहा कि ये देखो ये किताब में इसने क्या लिखा है। तो उसने लिखा है कि जब आपको सक्सेस मिलता है, उस सक्सेस का आनंद केवल आप तक ही सीमित रहता है, वो आनंद केवल आपको ही होता है। तो उस आनंद को, उस सक्सेस को कोई मतलब नहीं है। जब आपको सक्सेस मिलता है बड़ा, तो आपसे ज़्यादा खुशी आपके परिवार के लोगों को, आपके मित्रों को, आपके साथ काम करने वाले लोगों को, आपके टीम वर्क को होती है। तो मुझे लगता है कि वो खुशी सबसे बड़ी है, वो सक्सेस सबसे बड़ा है। और इसलिए फिर वो मैथमेटिक्स का सिद्धांत मैं याद रखता हूँ कि ए व्यक्ति ने A² काम किया और B व्यक्ति ने B² काम किया, तो टोटल वर्क इज A² + B²। बट व्हेन A and B कम्स टुगेदर, थिंग्स टुगेदर, A + B ब्रैकेट में स्क्वायर, इसका जवाब आता है A² + B² + twice AB, and that twice AB is a result of collective team spirit. So we are all stakeholders, we are part and parcel of one family. Our ministry is transparent, time bound, result oriented and corruption free. We don't have any expectation from you. I am promising you on behalf of VK Singh ji and our secretary, we are very clear, very transparent. We don't have any vested interest. We have commitment for the country, for the society. And you are not only the wealth creator, you are the job creator. And that is one of the reasons sometimes I have some hard discussion with many of your members. Mr. Goyen can remember it. But one thing I respect about all of you, that you are not only wealth creator, you are the employment creator. And that is one of the reasons that I feel that politics is the instrument of socio-economic reform. And that is my strong conviction. That is the reason that I always feel that we need more investment, we need more entrepreneur people, enterprise people, we need more wealth for the people and creating more employment potential by which we can increase the per capita income and GDP. And we need to diversify the investment to tribal, agriculture, rural area. 115 aspirant district where socially, economically, educationally backward people are there. So my suggestion is, don't be nervous. You have full right to put up your demand. We are very positive. I am in Nagpur. Our secretary will take immediately all the decisions on what are the decisions which are on ministry level. He will immediately make the research study of all these things. And the State Minister General Saab is also in Delhi, and he will take also his suggestion, and we will finalize the thing. We want to support you from core of our heart. And I am really understanding what type of problem you are facing. So first of all, I am as a stakeholder, I am supporting you. But unfortunately or fortunately, I am telling you one truth. You are not only in problem. The state government are also in problem. Some of the state government, they don't have money to pay the next month's salary. The revenue of central government is dropped. It's really a big task for the finance minister. I don't know how he can run it. It is also, she is facing the problem. And at the same time, banking system is under big stress. They are also facing the problem. And government is also facing the problem. Everyone is in a problem. Not only the auto manufacturer are in the problem. We are all in the problem. पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू कहते थे कि जितने लोग हैं उतने प्रश्न है, और इंडिया इज नॉट ए नेशन, इट इज ए पॉपुलेशन. उसकी कहानी है कि सभी दुखी है और ये दुखियों का महासागर बना है. हम 15 डेज में 3.5 करोड़ लोगों से मिला हूँ, तो मैं पहले उनको हिम्मत देता हूँ. मुझे भी मन में दुख और दर्द है, फिर उनको हिम्मत देता हूँ कि नहीं, हम जीते, हम जाएंगे, हम सक्सेस होंगे, हम इसके ऊपर बात करेंगे, पॉजिटिविटी बढ़ाओ. और मैंने मीडिया के लोगों को फटकारा कि तुम अगर अच्छा काम नहीं कर सकते तो ये निगेटिविटी फैलाकर ये धंधा क्यों करते हो, तुम्हारा भी बैंड बजेगा. इस समय रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी से देखो कि लोगों को हिम्मत बढ़ाओ, कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ाओ. लड़ने की हिम्मत दो, उनको निराश मत करो। तो मैं, आप तो बहुत ही बड़े लोग हैं और आपके बिजनेस एम्पायर बहुत बड़े हैं, आपने बहुत कुछ देखा है। आई डोंट हैव एनी राइट टू गाइड यू, anyone, I am not using to guide you as a minister, but as a person, citizen of this country, I only request you that कि हम होंगे कामयाब, हम इसमें से निकलेंगे और कहीं ना कहीं हम लोग जीतेंगे। तो यही कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ हम आगे जाएंगे। पैकेज जाहिर होने वाला है, जितना कुछ आपने बताया मैं पूरा जो हमको लगता है वो पूरा फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर पीएमओ तक पहुंचाएंगे। आपको भी पता है कि जीएसटी की बात तो आपका कभी भी मैं 2 साल से याद कर रहा हूँ, जब भी आता है डेलीगेशन तो पहली बात करता है जीएसटी कम करो, फिर ये इतना हो गया। तो आप सब वही हिसाब बताते हैं। मैं भी सुन कर दुखी नहीं हुआ हूँ, हैरान नहीं हुआ, पर अब मेरे हाथ भी नहीं है, क्योंकि मैं एक्चुअली वो फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री को जाके कहूँ, अरुण जी थे तब भी मैं उनको कहता था, बीच में कभी उन्होंने कुछ कम ज़्यादा किया तो मुझे कहते थे देखो आप मुझे बोल रहे थे, मैंने ऑटोमोबाइल में कम किया। कम करने के बाद आप में से एक भी आदमी कभी मिलने के लिए नहीं आया कि अच्छा हुआ, क्योंकि जो कम हुआ उसका एक्सपेक्टेशन बहुत ज़्यादा था। तो वो जो पिक्चर का डायलॉग था कि ज़िंदगी एक थर्ड क्लास का डब्बा बना हुआ है, कोई खड़ा होगा तो कोई बैठ जाएगा, ऐसी हालत सबकी है। कुछ भी करके समाधान निकलना कठिन है, फिर भी हमको आगे जाना है और निकलना है। तो मुझे लगता है कि वी आर ऑल विथ यू ऑन डिपार्टमेंट लेवल, वॉट एवर द पॉसिबल फॉर अस, वी विल टेक द डिसीजंस। अगर उसको बढ़ाना है तो बढ़ाने के लिए भी मदद करेंगे। रोड सेफ्टी के इश्यूज़ को होगा तो ही थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम, बाकी सबको बढ़ाएंगे। और यूरो 4 से ये BS4 से BS6 जाते समय भी काफ़ी हार्ड डिस्कशन आप सबके साथ हुआ था, और पर हुआ क्योंकि पोल्यूशन इज़ ए बिग कंसर्न, वो भी है। आपकी आज की परिस्थिति भी बहुत अड़चन की है, फिर भी हम लोग सब मिलकर आगे जाएंगे, हम इस समस्याओं पर मात करेंगे और निश्चित रूप से आगे अच्छे दिन आएंगे। तो इसी के साथ मैं आपको यही कहूँगा कि हिम्मत रखिए, हम आपके साथ हैं। वी विल ट्राई आवर लेवल बेस्ट टू फाइंड आउट मैक्सिमम पॉजिटिव थिंग्स फ्रॉम ऑल दिस डिस्कशन। थैंक यू वेरी मच। नमस्कार।
Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू फॉर योर वर्ड्स ऑफ एनकरेजमेंट सर।
Thank you very much.
तो आपने सर जो भी बातें कही हैं, मैंने पिछले अभी 30 मिनट में उनको ना एक 7C के रूप में मैंने लिए हैं। आपने हमें कहा बी काम, आपने कहा बी कॉन्फिडेंट, आपने कहा बी कम्युनिकेट करो, और आपने कहा कि मीडिया को नेगेटिविटी रूमर्स मत फैलाओ, आपने कहा कोलैबोरेशन, आपने कहा कम्युनिटी का ध्यान रखो, आपने कहा कंपैशन, एट द टाइम ऑफ क्राइसिस हैव कंपैशन, और आपने सर एक साथ में बात कही कैश की। बाकी सब चीजें आपने कहा कि ये है, बट कैश में आपने कहा कुछ नहीं है। सर जो जीएसटी रिडक्शन की बात कर रहे थे सर, वो 1,50,000 करोड़, अगर 50% डी ग्रोथ होती है तो गवर्नमेंट की कलेक्शन 75,000 करोड़ की होगी। तो सर वो एक डबल एज स्वॉर्ड है सर, अगर कर दे तो बेनिफिट होगा, नहीं करें तो नहीं होगा। सो इसी के साथ सर
आपको
लगता है कि जीएसटी कम करके आपका टर्नओवर बढ़ेगा?
हाँ सर,
आपका डिमांड बढ़ेगी ऐसा लगता है?
डिमांड बढ़ेगा सर, क्योंकि पास्ट में सर 2008 में और 2014 में जब एक्साइज ड्यूटी कम हुई, तब फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस हुआ 2008 का, उस समय एक्साइज ड्यूटी कम हुई तो उसमें काफी डिमांड बूस्ट हुआ। सर 2014 में भी ये हुआ, तो ये हमको लगता है कि
मैं निगेटिव नहीं हूँ। सेक्रेटरी भी सुन रहे हैं, स्टेट मिनिस्टर भी सुन रहे हैं, मैं भी हर बार आपकी बात सुनता हूँ, और आपको मैं बताऊँ, मैं अपनी बात पहुँचाता भी हूँ कि भाई बहुत ज़्यादा हेवी होता है, पर अब आप भी जानते हैं कि मजबूरियाँ सभी लेवल पर है ये, तो निश्चित रूप से मैं पहुँचाऊँगा। आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू रिफ्यूज योर डिमांड, मैं जरूर पहुँचाऊँगा, वो मेरे हाथ में नहीं है।
सो थैंक यू सर। एक ये नई चीज बनी है आज, 7C आपने जो दिए कोविड को फाइट करने के लिए, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर दैट। वी विल बी इन टच सर आपके ऑफिस में सेक्रेटरी जी के साथ।
एक आखिरी में वो सेक्रेटरी साहब को पूछो, स्क्रैपिंग पॉलिसी का वो जरा बताएंगे। सर ये मैं थक गया, 2 साल से मैं ये काम कर रहा हूँ, जैसा भी हो वैसा एक बार इनको मुझे भी फेस करते समय अब शर्म आने लगी, और शर्म आती है कि मैं इनको क्या बताऊँ। ये इतना घुमाई फाइल या आपके नौकरशाह ने कि बस मैं भी फेडअप हो गया। अब क्या जो करना करके आप थोड़ा सा इसका करा दो, इसके कारण इनकी कॉस्टिंग कम हो जाएगी, प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट कम होगी, तो वो तो भी रिलीफ उनको मिल पाएगा सर, और वो अच्छा हो जाएगा इंडस्ट्री के लिए। पुराने व्हीकल स्क्रैप होंगे, पोल्यूशन भी कम होगा। थोड़ा सा आप जरा कुछ हुई क्या जानकारी मिली सर?
सर आप कल बोल रहे थे इस बारे में, मैं पता कर लिया उसका स्टेटस, मैं आपको सेपरेटली इन्फॉर्म कर दूँ, आपसे बात कर।
ये जल्दी कराइए कुछ।
ठीक,
यस।
थैंक यू।